Thank you very much for the introduction, and thanks a lot to WBPDCL for inviting me to the inaugural session of this seminar, dignitaries on and off the dais, and the students, guests. It's really an honor to come here and interact with the people who are actually giving us, delivering the power, the energy, electricity on which we survive. Yesterday, just for 2 minutes, the power went away, and I was at a loss. Where were the matchsticks? Where were anything else? So, and we were recalling the days when we were students, class 9, 10, 11, 12. Before dark set in, we had to clean all the chimneys and everything because power would go away, electricity would go away, there would be load shedding. But that, thankfully, is a thing of the past. And it's thanks to these organizations that we are getting these days a lot of electricity and our energy needs are met. I remember the days when I used to travel every weekend on Fridays and Mondays in the Kolkata-Kharagpur route around 1992, 93. And when I crossed the river and crossed the Kolaghat Power Station, in the dark, it would look like a giant with those lights there. And it was such a, I would look forward to that sight every weekend. Kolaghat Thermal Power Station has left its impact on my psyche because it was such a pleasurable journey, crossing the Rupnarayan and then looking at that huge giant in the dark night with those lights. It really was sort of, an awe-inspiring experience. And now I am here in WBPDCL, WBPDCL, this seminar here, the 12th seminar in its series, and a very relevant one with its focus on artificial intelligence. As we all know, we are witnessing a revolution in the era of artificial intelligence. This is a revolution unfolding in front of our eyes. And not many people really know what is artificial intelligence. They just get to hear it all the time, bombarded with the terms. It is important to know the boundaries of artificial intelligence and what it is, because I have been faced with situations where I've got our local Thana officer, local police station, the officer of the local police station coming and telling me that with AI, we should be able to help them look at images of a crime scene with a lot of blood there and tell the blood group. This is impossible. So we need to know, but when I explained to him, he said, नहीं, artificial intelligence से हो जाएगा, AI से हो जाएगा. तो नहीं होता है सब कुछ, but a lot of things are happening now and we must be aware of where we can use it fruitfully and what are the pitfalls. As you know, artificial intelligence started way back, and coin got termed, the term got coined, I'm so sorry, and there was called a Turing test. So what was was able to pass the Turing test? And Turing test is a test where an interrogator asks questions and either a human being or a machine or a computer would answer all in writing. And if I recall correctly, if 30% of the time the interrogator mistook the machine for a human response, the response from the machine as coming from the human being, then the machine would be termed as intelligent. It has been really difficult to prove, to pass the Turing test, but there have been a lot of advances, and there has been, of course, its fair share of criticism. The Turing test had its fair share of criticism that just because it is able to fool the interrogator does not mean that it is intelligent. For example, if the computer is asked a question in Chinese and it just looks up a database and responds in Chinese does not mean that the computer understands Chinese. That was a criticism at that time. However, things moved. There was something called neural network which got developed, and it was a bloom and a boom time for AI. And then there was a simple problem. It was proved that a very simple problem, the neural network it was called the perceptron, that could not solve a very, very simple problem, simple classification problem, where it had to distinguish between two different classes. But if the points were distributed in a particular way, then it could not solve it. And then there was a winter in the AI research. Things went down till a development happened, and it was again there were new models which were developed, where again it saw again a boom of AI. So this has been going like that, ups and downs of AI research. And right now what we are seeing is essentially the neural network, the very basic type of neural network, now with huge amount of data which is available and huge amount of computational resources which have become available, that the neural networks have become very, very powerful, because you can have a very large model with millions of parameters, and you are able to train those neural networks with humongous amount of data. And it is because of these resource requirements that a major part of the research in AI is now going on in the companies. You will see the Google and the Amazons and the big companies. A lot of AI research, a lot of AI development is happening there because they have at their command huge amount of resources, which especially the Indian academia is lacking quite a bit. So when I was invited to this particular session here, I responded that I do know a little bit about artificial intelligence and machine learning, but I have no idea about thermal power plants and how it can help. So I was just looking up a little bit, and there's a huge amount of application, large number of applications of AI in thermal power plants, etc. And I was looking at the variety of applications. For example, a lot of optimization happens here. And my own research has been quite a bit in optimization techniques and developing something called meta-heuristics, where things like genetic algorithms, these are essentially optimization techniques, including multi-objective optimization as well as many objective optimization. So multi-objective optimization would be where you have an optimization problem. So in general, you have a single objective which you want to optimize. You just try to see how to improve it more and more. But if you have multiple objectives, let's say you have time and cost of going from point X to point Y. You want to minimize the time and you want to minimize the cost, both at the same time. As you can see, it is rather difficult to optimize or minimize both time and cost at the same time because they conflict with each other. You try to bring the time down, the cost will go up. You try to bring the cost down, the time will go up. So how do you handle such problems? That is where multi-objective optimization comes into the picture. And I'm sure the problems in thermal power management, thermal power plant management, it's essentially multi-objective in nature. It cannot be single objective. There will be multiple objectives conflicting with each other. And what you want to come up with is a set of trade-off solutions, something which is acceptable, but a trade-off solution. Failure detection, failure prediction, preventive maintenance, there are a huge number of applications of different AI methods in power plants, in energy management. And this is where it's become urgent and necessary that people from the different domains of expertise come together and solve the problems. Because more and more renewables coming in, how to ensure a reliable and consistent supply of power. There, not only electrical engineers, power engineering experts, but also people from statistics, people from computer science, people from mathematics, people from mechanical engineering, people from variety of domains need to come together and solve the problems facing humanity these days. With large-scale digitalization all around, what we also need is very sophisticated round-the-clock monitoring of the activities in such systems, because these are very critical systems. And cyber monitoring is extremely important because there will be a lot of cyber warfare in the days to come, in the years to come. So cyber security has to be extremely strong, because if there's a cyber attack on a power plant, it can bring to halt entire cities, entire countries. And we have seen that happening. Even in the hospital systems, we've seen cyber attacks, which has shut down the hospital, because it is now almost everything has gone digital. So we have to be very strong and keep in mind these issues. Another issue of AI, because of which its adoption has been rather limited in many real-life domains, is its lack of transparency, lack of explainability, accountability. If something goes wrong, if the algorithm is giving out some erroneous results, then who's to be held responsible? So explainability is very poor. That is why, especially in the domain of healthcare, adoption of AI to the extent desirable has been not evident. It's because the medical fraternity, medical experts, they don't want to hear just that, okay, this person is suffering from so-and-so disease, but they want to know why the system is giving a particular result. So explainability is very important. A lot of research is going on, and we hope in the years to come, the AI system will become much more explainable to the layman, to the users. So to conclude, you see, as with any development, artificial intelligence development or AI tools are as good or as bad as the hands and the minds that use it. It has become very important now to not only do research in AI, but also to look at the legalities, the regulations that has to guide AI research. And in fact, the proponents of deep learning, the main things that we are seeing, main developments we are seeing today, they themselves are at a loss now. They are not very sure how the AI research should proceed and progress. There is a international call, that maybe it's time now to halt AI research for some time, put the regulations in place, and then move ahead, which we know that it is impossible to actually stop a research. It's like water, it will continue in the way that it has to. So AI research will continue. We have to be very careful how we use it, but the benefits, if we can really tap into it, are very huge. I end by just wishing the Employees Forum and WBPDCL the very best. May you generate more power, may you have more power, and may you bring lights to many more homes. Thank you very much.